Hi everyone, welcome again to Bake Your Way Kitchen. On today's episode, I'm just going to be showing you a quick, easy base for a gluten-free scone. And you can change things up in this recipe as you like, but this is how I like to do it. I'm going to be using coconut flour. All the ingredients will be listed down below, so if I forget some to give you a measurement, just refer down below for further details. The first thing you're going to need to do is mix all your dry ingredients. So I'm going to put 1 cup and about 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, and that's about 130 grams or so, just a little over. And then I've got here about 1 cup and just a couple tablespoons, about 120 grams of almond flour or almond meal. There we go. And I've also got a bit of orange zest, and this is just going to brighten up the scone. You could leave it out, you could add lemon zest instead. It's really up to you. And then we've got our dry ingredients. We've got half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And we need that baking powder to help give these scones a bit of rise. And then we have our sugar, and this is 3/4 of a cup, about 150 grams. I'm using a raw sugar, a demerara sugar, but you could use just regular sugar. So all you do, I'm going to bring this over here, is just whisk these together till it's all well combined. Alright. Once you have that all well combined, you have your base for your muffin, for your scone. And all you need to do now is add in the rest of your ingredients, and they are as followed. You are going to need, or I suggest that you use 3 beaten eggs. So kind of make a bit of a well in the center. So I'm going to add in my 3 lightly beaten eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, and then our half a cup of oil, or you could use butter if you prefer. And it should be a flavorless oil. And we just need to mix this together. So once you have finished incorporating all the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients, you should end up with a bit of a crumbly mixture. And this is exactly what you're looking for. Now the important thing, something I want to stress, is that you don't want to over mix it, otherwise you'll get a really tough scone. Now you could either just roll it out in your mixing bowl and then just pop it on a greased or prepared cookie sheet before putting in your 350-degree, 180-degree Celsius oven. Or if you want them to be a bit more, I guess, formal looking, like if you want to make them uniform in size and everything, you could use a cookie cutter or a scone cutter and roll it out, which is what I'll do now. Now, these are gluten-free, so of course I'll just show you a way that you can roll these out without using any flour, which is using 2 pieces of long wax paper. You put the dough right on top of one of them. You put the second layer just right on top here, kind of start to press it down and roll it out. And the benefit of doing this is that you're not using any flour, and yet it won't stick, so you don't need to worry about that. Now you could do this also with parchment paper. I just find it easier with wax paper. So you can roll it out. The thickness is really up to you. You kind of want to keep it a little bit thick because these are scones, and even though they will rise a bit, you don't want them like thin like a pie crust. So I'd say probably about 1 inch at least. Anyway, I just rolled them out like that, and then you can just take a cutter, which I have got here. Just use one of these and just start pressing down, just like so. And then put them on your prepared cookie sheet. Now, of course, depending on how thick you are doing them, you'll get a different amount. You can make them thinner or thicker. I'm just going to start by doing a batch of really thin ones just to show you, then I'll do ones that are a bit thicker. So these are going to be very thin. So I pretty much rolled up the scraps. I got 6 smaller versions here, but I thought I'd show you like a really thicker scone. Basically what I like to do is I take it like a ball like this, and then using your two first fingers here, you're going to start to press it as you roll it, like this, in your hand. That way you get a uniform shape, and you can do this without a cookie cutter, so that's the benefit of it. And then you just simply put it on a sheet here. And as I mentioned earlier, depending on the size of all these, the amount you'll get in the end will vary. So I'll just continue to do this. I'll do one more to show you. So you take a clump like that, between your two fingers, press it on the side like this. And that's what you're looking for, just like that. So I'm probably going to get about 12 out of this, based on the sizes I'm making it. Alright, well I'm just going to roll out the rest and I'll show you what it looks like once I'm done. But these are like what your traditional scones would look like. What you got here, they've bulked up a bit. And they're going to have extra rise because of the baking powder. Now one thing I forgot to mention earlier, one of the ingredients I added was 1 tablespoon of apple, like a cider vinegar, and that just adds a bit of a tangy flavor to these. These are a very unique scone. They're one of my favorite recipes. It's a great go-to gluten-free recipe. So I'm going to put these in. Obviously the times are going to be different because these are very thin, these are very thick. But you can be the judge and you can decide how you shape them. You can shape your scones however you want, in the way you want. You can add nuts, chocolate, dried fruit, whatever you desire. This is kind of like the base of what you can go off of. Now before I put these in the oven, in my 350-degree oven, I got some of the raw sugar here, and I'm just going to add the rest on top. At the bottom of my bag here, so I figured I'd finish off. And you know, I really like to have that crystal, raw, crunchy sugar on the top of scones. It's a favorite. And you just pour them over the top, just like so. And then just quickly press it in. That should be good to go. Alright, so our scones are now done, and they really varied in time. These ones, the thin ones, took about, the ones that kind of look like cookies, took about, I would say, around 7-8 minutes, and these ones took about 12. And they've developed a nice golden brown color, and they're very easy to, they hold together. I know a lot of people complain that these fall apart, but they hold well together, as you can see. So I'm going to put these away. They're best stored in an airtight container. You can leave them at room temperature, but I generally leave them in the fridge. Or if you're just on your own and you wanted to make scones, you could freeze them and then just heat them up when you're ready to use them. They're very, very good. I would recommend them for like as a snack with a tea, or even for breakfast. They're very good. These are your a base recipe for gluten-free scones. I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.